So, Macros, do you think that Black Neto got really interrupted by real life, or do you think that he's just microphone shy?
Yeah, I think he got interrupted by real life. He said he has had the flu and he's self-employed, so
Okay.
he had to make up some work.
Have
So
you got have you got many negative responses when you have asked people to come as guests?
no, I had a few. Some couldn't make it because of real life. I think
But
I only
has
had
anyone
one who declined
because of
because
being
yeah, because he
microphone
didn't
shy?
want to join us.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. As you mentioned in our chat, we have still a few candidates left, and
Yes.
actually, I think was it Rojo? I think it was Rojo who gave me the idea that we could have multiple guests. So that is definitely
Yeah, but
something we could try out.
yes, but do we have
Not
enough
sure if I
guests yet?
mentioned it, but I would feel more comfortable if it wasn't just me.
Yeah, but we are here. You're
Yes,
not alone.
exactly, Rojo. We are here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't mean that as any offence.
You know, Inka is usually a nice guy, just as long as he has his beer. Do you have your beer, Inka?
Mm-hmm. Not yet. Soon.
Ah,
I've got one bottle of cider in the fridge, but I'm when it's
Oh yes.
8.4%. Yeah,
oh dear.
How
8.4,
much?
that's a lot.
Eight point. Jesus Christ. Finnish cider is only 4.5 or something like that.
I had a small sip of beer this evening. I was preparing pancakes for the family, so one of the secret ingredients in my pancake recipe is beer.
Really?
Yeah, it adds to the crustness of the pancakes, so it really enhances the pancakes.
So your whole family was drunk while eating your pancakes.
No, no, can't get drunk off one half beer. I usually
most of
take half the beer myself.
most of the alcohol boils away anyway when you cook it.
It does.
Yeah, no,
It
true.
does. It also has the effect that there is yeast in beer, so it makes the pancakes rise just a little bit and makes them more fluffy inside. So that's nice too.
You could try Russian style pancakes, put some vodka.
Oh dear. But as Roger mentioned, I don't think that would work because the alcohol would just, well,
Yeah,
basically drift away.
by the way. Yeah.
Drift away. But you know what, Henka? Today I think I will get a beer today.
Cool.
I may be AFK for a few minutes.
It's funny that there was this thread about drunk flying at the exploration forums today. And
Yeah, I saw the thread title, but I
uh, I have
didn't have time to
always
read it.
I have never understood commanders who fly while drunk. How can you do that? I I I couldn't do that in any way.
That's a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it on more than one occasion, and you just never know what. I've actually woken up in the middle of the night staring at the sun before, wondering where the hell I am.
Really? Ooh. I think I'm just too fond of my ships to fly drunk. Also, I enjoy it more when I'm not drunk.
Yeah, true. I'm not a heavy drinker, despite of me being Finnish. All
I
the
did blow
time.
up an anaconda whilst drunk once with disastrous results because I accidentally chose the free Sidewinder at the rebuy screen.
Oh dear.
Ouch.
Oh. Yeah, that is really a disaster.
As I said, despite of me being Finnish doesn't mean that I'm a heavy drinker. Don't believe everything you hear about Finnish people.
And you know what, Hinga? I thought it was mandatory for all Finnish people to be drunk.
No, that's the Russians.
Oh, that's the
And
Russians.
drive rally cars.
That's the Russians. They're always drunk.
What's that, Roger?
I thought all Finnish people just drove rally cars.
Yeah. I think they do.
Yeah, some of them. You might have heard of those.
Yeah. Yeah, there have been some great Finnish rally drivers. Speaking of rally, Hinga, how are you doing? How are you guys doing in the Olympics? I hear a lot about the Swedish and the Norwegians, but not so much the Finnish.
I'm ashamed to admit that, but I haven't really been following the Olympics. I should probably follow the ice hockey somewhat, but I really don't have time. I don't know. I'm more of a Formula One guy, so. I might follow some ice hockey next week when the finals are. If Finland is still here.
Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage.
Have you, Macros, been following Formula One?
No, I can't say I have.
But you have a driver there, Kevin Magnussen.
Yeah, we do, but I don't follow him. I don't pay much attention to Formula One or sports.
Yeah, no, either. Actually,
TV coverage is really poor in the UK.
Really? But you have Sky Sports and
Frameshift drive
BBC.
charging.
I don't have Sky Sports.
Okay.
4,
Let go of the button too soon there, I beg your
2,
pardon.
1, engage.
That's the thing. Once Sky got the rights to it, they pretty much monopolised it. So anyone that didn't have satellite had to watch the highlights and nothing else. And the BBC have lost it again, haven't they? I think it's on Channel 4, which means you've got adverts and things to contend with. Sorry, sounds like I just killed the conversation.
Oh, no, you didn't. I am currently trying to place myself in orbit around the secondary star for our instance. No, it takes a lot more to kill the conversation, Roger, don't you worry.
Yeah, and that was killed by my sheep.
By the way, Roger, where do you live? Do you live in England? Great Britain?
Yeah, Portsmouth on the south coast of England.
Did you feel the earthquake today?
No, I think that was in Cornwall, wasn't it? Which is it's a couple of 100 miles away.
They said it was the biggest earthquake since the one in 1906, so that's a long time ago.
Ah, right. So probably meant some cups vibrated a bit on a table somewhere. That's a big earthquake in the UK.
I don't know how accurate the translation was, but I read that someone in England said that his walls split. Or he heard that his walls cracked.
I think that's more a reflection on how bad the construction is in this country rather than anything else.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about winter.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Now, I must admit, I'll have to look that up because I wasn't aware of an earthquake till my parents sort of mentioned it in passing today. So I'll have to look that up on the newsletter.
I didn't even know that UK is at earthquake area.
It's not particularly, but I think they can happen anywhere, really.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah.
We're certainly not on a fault line, put it that way.
Yeah. Oh man, Niobium, where are you? I don't know why they decided to add carbon to Japan. What's the point? Really? It's easy to find, but what's the purpose?
What are you looking for? Niobium?
Yeah, a bit carbon because 3.0. In 3.0 you need carbon with champonium.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've started picking it up and then throwing it away again when I need something else because 3.0 hasn't landed yet.
Yeah, but I was just wondering why carbon? What's the point?
Probably because it's not used for anything else in exploring and they decided to punish us again.
Yeah, I mean, were they like in some meeting at, hey, let's add one math for the champonium? What should we add? Let's put carbon.
I think it's to offset the fact that you only need one niobium now.
Yeah.
But you need carbon for all 3 jumps now, don't you?
Yes. I haven't decided yet, is that a good or bad thing?
I'm just glad I'm not stuck out at star 1 when that dropped, because I could have been in real trouble. You can guarantee suddenly you wouldn't be able to find carbon anywhere in that situation.
Yes, and you can guarantee that there will be commanders who are stuck when 3.0 lands. Because they don't have carbon.
I've just checked and I've got 24 carbon right now.
I haven't been collected. I have 30 carbon. I really hope that 3.0 drops soon. But I'm betting the last week of February.
That's what I reckon as well.
So with a little luck, our next base camp will be with new planets.
Let's see if I can catch up in time. I'm still over 200 jumps away from where you are.
Yeah, I'm currently traveling to search for the base camp 11.
Right, I just need to step away for 2 minutes. I'll be back in a little while.
Cool. Did you get your beer macros?
Yeah. I. By the way, Hinga, I have something you should listen to. Are you ready?
Really?
Are you ready?
Yes. Ah, that's the stuff.
Yes.
Sounds surprisingly, it sounds exactly the same in Danish than in Finnish.
And here's more.
I really have to get mine. I really have to get mine.
The sweetest sound in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot imagine anything. Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm back, and it's Perry, not cider, so it's made with pears instead of apples.
Same thing.
Oh.
I used to drink pear cider at one point, but then I got like fed up with it. I drank it like for 6-7 years, only pear cider.
Oh, this isn't like Copperberg or any of those really sweet things. This is just
Yes.
pure on fermented pears. This is great stuff.
There's this British cider manufacturer. I don't remember. It was really good. I don't remember the manufacturer anymore, but it was British, if I recall right.
Henry Weston's?
Might be. But it was really good and really expensive in Finland. That's everything which is imported. But yeah, I used to drink berry cider a lot. But nowadays I can't even stand the smell. It's really too sweet.
Yeah, that's because you're drinking the wrong stuff. What you've been drinking is actually cider that's flavoured with pears and with pear concentrate as well, which is nasty stuff. But this is actually just it's never seen an apple. This stuff, it's pure fermented pears.
Yeah.
And it's not sweet at all.
But I didn't drink beer before we went to Thailand with my wife on our wedding journey, honeymoon, what you call it. And it was 5 years ago, and that was the trip when I learned to drink beer. I never drank beer before that trip to Thailand. So you can always learn new stuff. Oh shit, its clock is running. I need to go get my beer also. We'll be back soon. Oh yeah. Have you drank your beer already?
No, I'm making sure that I sip it only at the moment.
How about you, Macros?
No, I'm taking my sweet beer time.
Oh yeah. Listen to this.
Oh, it's the best sound in the world. So, Hink, are you ready for multi-crew?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I am. So, Rojo, I will tell you how this goes. As you know, we have this intro in the stream. And when we go live, I run the intro, and after that, we are good to go.
Okay.
I did some few changes to the intro video today.
Cool. I have started my multi-crew, so you should be able to join me.
Yeah. Good.
And you are welcome too, Rojo, of course. Multi-crew
Thank
in.
you. Yeah, just What heading does it come under? Obviously not bounty hunting, piracy, mentor,
I created it
or
under
no?
exploration. Exploration. So it's under other activities. I
Other
think.
further activities. Hold on.
Yeah, further. Yeah, that one.
It's the thing I don't like about multi-crew is I'd have no idea if I'm actually going to get into your ship or some completely random person.
You can throw me invite now, Macros.
Okay, no worries, you're Rojo. I'll send you an invite.
Cool.
And you too.
Okay, thanks.
Got it.
Oh. Hank.
You know,
Oh,
we
dear.
haven't had a single crash in multi-crew yet. Except that one time when the stream ended and I got stuck in your ship. Yay, I'm in. Do you have a chunk here also?
Not seeing any invite yet.
Yeah, Rojo, Chang, he sneaked in. I'm just asking him if he will be nice enough to surrender the seat for you, Rojo. So I'm waiting for Chang to.
No
Wait.
worries. I can always ask in the main chat if anybody else is.
Oh. Let's see if Chang is responding. Yep, he's gone. Hang on, Roger.
And we're going live soon, so 1 minute to intro.
Roger, just sent you an invite. Ah, late.
Says it was automatically rejected.
It said you are already in a crew. I'll try to send you another one. Hang on.
I think I might be hosting by accident because it says it's seat 1 empty. So bear with me.
Yeah, it says you're already in a crew, so you might
Yeah.
have started your own
Yeah.
crew.
Okay. Try it now.
There we go. Whee.
First time I've done this since beta as well.
Telepresence crew member connected.
Good evening, folks. It's that time again of the week. It's Space Camp 9 live stream and Mass Jump. And again, I'm here with my co-host, Macros Black. Hi, Macros.
Hello, Ingo.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
Any news in the front?
Oh, any news? Yeah, we
what
have
you been
lots
doing?
lots of news, but I think should we introduce our guest?
Yes, and I was just coming to him, and this week we have our guest, Commander Rojo Habi. Welcome.
Evening. Good evening, everyone.
How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
It was nice of you to get here as our guest. So, how's your journey gone so far?
It's certainly had its ups and downs. Finally out of the doldrums from all that West Point stuff and the Star One, and I'm actually back into jonking range. So I'm about 200 jumps out at the moment to catch up with you all.
Cool. I think if Vex could make it, I think you can make it.
Yeah, it's pretty good going from Vex. Kudos to Vex for doing such a great series of jumps.
I think his ass must be hurting.
Or his jump finger. Either one. Or both.
Vex says that no sound. Everything should be okay. No sound from Macros or Rojo. Why is that? That's odd. That's really odd, yeah, actually.
This is like one of the live streams.
They're all saying that they can't hear anyone but me. So.
Could it be that you have muted your output in OBS?
I will stop the stream and I will start it again if it makes the difference. Because in Discord I can hear you both.
Then it must be a setting in OBS. Yeah. Maybe your sound has been muted. Maybe.
I don't think so. Let's try this. Can you hear Macros and Rojo now?
This is
Hello.
Hello. Marcus talking.
And this is Rojo.
This is Marcos. This is Marcos 1, 2.
And this is Rojo 1, 2, 3.
Now they can hear you.
Excellent.
I don't know what was wrong with my.
So you just restarted OBS?
I had some setting wrong, but I haven't really touched that setting, so that's the sound monitoring setting. Okay, obviously they can hear us now, so let's continue with our guest now. So I think Macros, you're good to go with your questions.
Cool, I'm up. Nice. So I mentioned we have some news. I should quickly cover them. Then one of the news is that according to DECE, we have jumped over 800 million light years, which is an incredible number. I can't imagine we have jumped thus far. Also, we have made a lot of jumps. I don't have the stats right now, actually. We have also done an amazing number of jumps. Totally. We
Yeah,
have
and we
made almost 500,000 jumps so far. That's incredible. Just
yes, and
fantastic.
haven't even crossed the halfway yet. So
Yeah. Yeah. So
8.4 million light years to be exact.
that is pretty awesome. Oh, and in other news, I will do my best to ask Frontier for a decal for this expedition.
That would be
If
cool.
they have time and listen to my kind asks, then we may have a decal for the expedition That is one decal
Yeah.
I will wear very proudly.
Yes.
The other thing is that we no that no that's a surprise. I cannot tell you about our last guest for our last jump point. I will keep that secret. That was really the news for me. And now we have some questions for our most excellent guest, Roger. Hello, Roger.
Hi there.
So we like to ask our guests some general questions, and you have already had a peek at some of the questions. I have some surprise questions for you later, but let's take that later. Let's just go from the top. So, can you tell us a bit about your commander background?
Yeah, I joined in the last month of Premium Beta, just before launch, and it turned out to be a very different game to what I was expecting, funny enough, because I honestly thought that I would be able to go around looking for players that had huge bounties and attack them, and then that was pretty much not a good idea, because I had no idea just how good some of these PvP players can be, so I backed off on that pretty quick. But always had an idea of exploring right from the very start, because it was what appealed to me from the very beginning, but I never really went more than a couple of thousand light years from the bubble until Distant Worlds was launched, and I just jumped on that as a chance to actually go straight in at the deep end, and that was the most amazing thing ever to get anybody into exploring. I highly recommend just going on one of these large expeditions, because it teaches you so much about what's out there, and you come back with a whole different appreciation for the game, and a lot of this petty squabbling you get on the forums about what is and isn't the way the game that should be played, you can just pretty much ignore it, because it's what you want to do is what you want to do, and it's as simple as that. So yeah, so for 4 years I've been mostly exploring and just basically bimbling about the bubble in between, not really achieving much. I'm still not a billionaire. I'm still only elite in exploring and nothing else. And now I'm on this, and when we get back, I'll be going on Distant Worlds 2. That's pretty much it for the last 4 years, and hopefully I'll still be here in 4 years' time.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And the big secret in Elite Dangerous is that it's not about the goals. It's not about becoming elite. It's not about becoming the other stuff. It's about the journey, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. And I think there's way too much talk about how to make money, how to make money fast, how to grind money. I really hate that whole topic of money in Elite. I don't understand it. I have been playing since the beginning, and my assets are only 1.5 billion, and that's really not much.
Did
I
you say only?
I have about 300 million, and about 5 ships. That's total.
Hmm.
Okay, I thought that my assets were low, so okay, you win.
Honestly, couldn't afford an anaconda for this trip.
How is that possible?
Well,
You
as I explained to you before this broadcast started, I blew up the last one when I was drunk and
Oh,
accidentally chose a free
yes.
sidewinder at the rebuy screen, and I've just about recovered that.
Okay. That
Oh dear.
explains
So you took a drunken Iron Man. Yeah, respect, Roger.
it.
Much respect.
That's one way of looking at it. Yeah.
Yes. I have to try that sometime. No, I don't.
No. But you know what, Henga? There is the aspect of credits and money in Elite Dangerous that you, well, in order for you to acquire the ships you feel you need and should have, then you have to do something to earn the credits, whether it's
Yeah,
doing the
I'm kind
exploits or doing the
I'm kind of
smuggling
hoping.
runs or whatever. Then you have to do a lot of work to acquire the credits for you to get an outfit, not least
Yeah,
outfit the ships you want to fly.
I'm kind of hoping that the squadron update will really put out with money because you have to buy this fleet carrier
Hmm.
and it should be really expensive. So,
Well, I
but
estimate
yeah,
that you would need, if they make it, if Frontier makes it credit based, and I estimate that you need at least 20 billion to acquire a fleet carrier.
hmm
So what is that?
but yeah, back to Rojo.
Back to Roger.
Back to Roger.
Back to Roger.
Well,
Roger, what?
I have to. Yeah, continue, please.
No, go ahead, Anka. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking thing we talked before the stream. Regarding your name, Rojo, how did you come up with that commander name?
Yeah, right. Way back in the early days of the internet, there was a little thing doing the rounds called "What's your Star Wars name?" I can't remember the exact rules now, but it was like the first two letters of your surname followed by the first two letters of your first name, two or three, I can't remember exactly, and then I think your mother's maiden name and your town of birth came into it. So I just put that together, and that's where Roger Harvey came from. I've only recently decided how it's pronounced because somebody asked me on this stream.
So,
So basically, your commander name is made by your mother's maiden
That's the HA, yeah. The
name. Okay.
RO is my surname, JO is my first name, BE is my town of birth.
Okay. I have to try that generator. Because as I said before the stream, my imagination when selecting names in games is really second to none. I have been using the same stupid name for the last 20 years in games. So, and those who don't know, Henka is a nickname from my real name, which is Henry, and 77 is my birth year. That's surprising. So yes, that makes me 40 years old, but not as old as you guys.
thank you very
Me, a
much,
youngster.
Henka. But you know what, Henka, that the added benefit of having a tag for this long is that anyone that hears the name Henka, they immediately would know who it is.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You have a great benefit. Rojo,
Yeah.
what was your motivation for going on this?
I've not done it before. I get very bored in the bubble quite quickly, and I'm always looking for the next expedition. I always look on EDSM to see what's going on, but I actually saw quite early on in Macross's thread when it was just his trip on his own, and I saw the number of people that were jumping on board, and I thought, yeah, I've got to do that. Even though it's a 9-month trip, I thought it's got to be done because it just looks good on my 3D map on EDSM for starters. The fact that I've been all the way around, but no, it's one of those things that every explorer wants to do, and it's the same reason I signed up for the original Distant Worlds. It was, let's do this because what better way to do it than with a bunch of really nice guys that all want to do the same thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, you had some experience from the Distant Worlds expedition, so the black wasn't entirely new to you.
No, and I've done a few since then. I think I joined the the Crab Nebula expedition after I got back from Distant Worlds, which I sort of dropped out of halfway through when I heard about a certain commander who stranded himself on a planet without a ship. Can't remember his name now, but
No, I don't remember either.
It's something with a K, K-A...
but it was quite epic because it was the first time it had happened to anyone at the time, and he was there for over a month, and he spelled out a massive help in tire tracks on the planet. So from there, I went on to Jacques because he'd just been found, and I did all that in a Python, which took forever because it only had about 25 light year range back in those days.
So are you a Python hater?
No, I've got a Python. I love it. It's my go-to ship back in the bubble for just doing missions for general purpose. It's my favourite ship for general purpose use, if you see what I mean. And I think it still will be after this, after 3.0 drops, because I had a little play with the Chieftain, and well, it's going to take a bit of getting used to. I think I still prefer the Python because it's so useful.
Yeah, it is very useful. It is also my go-to mission ship if I had to go to outpost. So I use the Python a lot.
Yes, I was on with my Python distant worlds. And sad to say, I haven't really used Python a lot after distant worlds. I don't know why.
And my first Python was for the Hutton Mug trip, and it was the cheapest Python I could afford because I literally had to trade in all my other ships for it. It cost about 50 million, and I was terrified because it was paper thin, and I knew about all the shenanigans going on for people who arrived there getting absolutely slaughtered by the SDC. So I did all that in open, and I was just terrified all the way because I basically spent everything I had on a Python. If I lost that, I would have been mortified.
And how did it go?
I survived. In fact, every time I arrived at Hutton Orbital, it was really quiet, so I got lucky. And no, I haven't got any mugs. I sold them.
Rojo, do you have any objectives and goals for this journey around the galaxy?
Main objective is to actually finish it, because I think everybody here is starting to appreciate that it is quite a grueling trip. Bigger than that is to get back before Distant Worlds 2 starts, because I'd hate to have to abandon this one because there's no way I'm going to miss the beginning of that. But no, it's just I've started, so I'll finish. So, and that's really what I'm not out to find any major new discoveries, because I think the chances of that are slim. I mean, the chances of one of us doing it out of the what did you say, 40 or 50 of us still going is high, but the chances of it being me, out of all these 40 billion star systems, no, I just want to get round and enjoy the journey as much as I can.
Yeah. So, are you traveling the very rim, or are you sticking to the more dense?
I'm plotting as straight a line as I can between each waypoint and each base camp. I'm not. If someone does publish an easy route or an easier route to certain places, I'm trying to ignore it if I can and find my own way there, which is why these last few waypoints have taken me so long, because I've literally just been doing them jump by jump, and then, oh dear, I need to land to find some more materials just in case I run out. But yeah, I'm trying to do all the navigation side of it myself without actually, obviously if I do get stuck, I'm more than happy for someone to help me out with a route. But I'd feel that would not exactly a failure, but I'd feel more of achievement if I'd done all the navigation side of it myself. But I forgot what the question was now.
If you're traveling the very rim.
Not the very, very rim, but I'm finding that this particular leg, there's this thin band of really, if you look on the EDSM map, there's this thin band of highly populated space with really very little either side of it, which is obviously where we've all been. But so not the very, you know, I'm not going out into premium jump territory purely for the sake of it. But I'm just plotting straight lines between waypoints if I can.
So what's your jump range?
At the very, very maximum, if I drain the tank to I've just got enough for one jump, it's 54.56, I think.
So you're flying an Aspect Explorer? Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
So earlier no, that was last year. At the end of last year, someone put out a challenge to go to a particular place on one of the arms. I think it was called the Arms End Challenge, Rojo.
Yeah,
and did you go to the Arms End?
No. I originally said on the forums that I wasn't even going to attempt that, and as soon as I posted it, I thought, no, let's give it a go. And I headed out that way because I had a bit of time in hand. And as soon as it started getting difficult, I thought, maybe later when we're not on such a major expedition. But I think possibly that would have been easy compared to what these last few waypoints I've just been through have been like, because it wouldn't have been any more difficult, put it that way, because it was like 3,000 miles of premium jump, 3,000 light years of premium jumps, and I just thought I won't waste time on this now, and I just sort of pretty much turned around, but I got about halfway.
Halfway, okay. Well, that's good too. So why did you give up? Is it because you ran out of Champonium, or?
More because I thought I was going to run out of time. I thought it was just going to. It would have taken weeks and weeks, and I thought, well, I will be horribly behind if I do that, and I don't know really. But if I went back now, I probably would have felt a bit braver, having gone to some of the more remote waypoints that have been along the route. But back then, things had been reasonably easy up to that point, hadn't they? So yes. I just thought. I went as far as I could to kill a bit of time before the next base camp, and then I thought, no, I just gauged how long it would take to get back to the next base camp for the next meeting, but as it turned out, I wasn't available on that Saturday for the meetup anyway, so I think I arrived on the Friday and there were about 2 people there. So yeah, but it was basically it was a combination of, do I really want to spend a lot of time on this, and am I gonna really? I think I was late for the. No, I was late for the next base camp because I actually posted a thing on the forum, said, "Sorry, I'm late. Hello, where is everyone?" But yeah.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that you were 4 days late?
Something like that, yeah, something like that. Although not nearly as late as I've been for the last few, because I
think you also stated that you met someone there, right? Or were you totally alone?
Not at Arm's End, no. I mean, I bumped into Commander Wayland out at West Point Ormond more recently, just before Christmas, because he was he was put out a distress call because he'd smashed up his hull pretty badly, and he was looking for repair limpets, but I couldn't help him, unfortunately. And that's when I made the decision to spend Christmas at Jack's, which also was quite a trip, because 29,000 light years in 2 days to get to Jack's. And then I was just wasted a couple of weeks over Christmas there, and then decided to rejoin the fleet about 20,000 light years back from where I had been. So
that's a lot of
I have actually drawn this massive triangle on the galaxy-sized triangle on the galaxy map. But and then if I had known how long it was going to take me to get to Manifest Destiny and Star One, maybe I wouldn't have gone back that far. But I'm catching up now anyway. I'm about 200 light years behind you all.
That was great. I think that Arm's End was the real first test. If
I beg your pardon, 200 jumps.
Yeah. I think Arm's End was the first real test of what was to come and what we had to deal with on the waypoints further ahead. So Arm's End was a great test for Manifest Destiny. I was taken a bit by surprise how much Jumponium I had to spend to get to Manifest Destiny. Really. Star 1 was a different matter because we had a route there and it was, well, really just a walk in the park, really, if you had the range. So Star 1
Yeah,
was easy, I think.
I actually enjoyed Star One because I'd already done Manifest Destiny and I was less worried about getting there because also the waypoint before that was a green system, so you could just stop off there and it's just a couple of jumps beyond. So that was a lot easier because I knew I didn't have to conserve half my Jumponium in case I didn't make it. I knew I could just keep forging ahead. As long as I got to that green system, I'd be fine.
Yeah. So on your travel so far, have you had any, or do you have any rules regarding when you should set down and scout for Jumponium materials?
I think I've got about 38 premium jumps in the bank, and if I get down to half that and I've not got where I need to go, it's time to either turn back or seriously start searching for materials.
Well, my Anaconda has a jump range of about 64 light years, so I'm spending a lot of J1s and some J2 and not that much J3, but I find that I spend a lot of vanadium because you spend 2 vanadiums on each J1, so I've been scouting for a lot of vanadium. It has taken me a bit by surprise, really. I thought I would be scouting for yttrium and polonium and all the really rare J3 stuff, but mostly I've been scouting for vanadium. Funny enough.
Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it, that whatever you're looking for is the one thing you can't find.
That reminds me, at this point, I have to say that remember people to take some carbon with you because that's the material we need for Champonium when 3.0 drops. Just so that you don't get stranded anywhere.
Yeah, that's a good point, Hank.
Mhm.
But I'm hoping Frontier will do the right thing and assign all of us the maximum amount of carbon in our material storage.
Yeah, and I think that if you're missing the carbon when 3.0 drops and you're stranded, if you message support, I think they will grant you few carbons.
Yeah, but I think now you mentioned support, I think they will do it just to spare all the support tickets because a lot of support
Yes.
tickets would be flowing into support and they will be flooded really with stranded explorers.
And I was actually a bit surprised last time my SRV got destroyed because the support answered me. They replaced my SRV, that's okay, but they said that next time they want video footage. So
Yeah,
keep your video recorders on all the time when you're doing your SRV shenanigans.
yeah. It would be funny if support would insist on having videos sent in showing that you really don't have any carbon.
Yeah.
We need a video of you having no carbon. Really?
Yes. Hmm.
That would be really funny.
But yeah, I think they are a bit fed up with people asking their SRVs back.
Yeah, but you know what? They should just fix the bloody SRVs
Yes,
when multiple commanders are together.
Yes.
Roger, you mentioned you went to Colonia. Why did you go to Colonia?
It was actually, from where I was, closer than a bubble. Only by a few thousand, but it was, like I said, it was about 29,000. And at that point, out at West Point Ormond, it was the closest starport, I think, or the closest civilization. And I've not been there for a while.
So it was just curiosity, or did you have to go back for repairs?
Anyway. No. Funny enough, it was just talking to Wayland, and he was saying he might have to go back there for repairs, but it turned out he didn't because somebody else came to his rescue. And I just suddenly thought, well, at one point I said, well, I'll come back and meet you there, just for something to do, because I was so far ahead of the fleet at that point. But then I thought, well, it'd be nice to actually spend Christmas in the bubble, get my ship chromed with a new Christmas chrome paint job, and just little things like that. So I just went, and like I say, I did it all in about. I did that particular trip back in 2 days. Took me a little bit longer to come back out to where you all were. I can't remember which base camp it was now. The numbers are starting to blur, but no, it was just a nice place to go for Christmas, really.
Well, 29,000 light years, that is still a distance.
Indeed.
So did you check the neutron jumps, or did you just go regular?
Oh no, I used neutron boosts where necessary. I think there was quite a few along the way, but thankfully the route plotter sorts that out for you now as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and I think it spares you a jump, because I've noticed that in my case I only get 2 consecutive neutron stars, and then I get a fuel star. So it's not like it plots neutron stars all the way. It plays it safe and just give me max 2 neutron stars in sequence.
Right, I'll have to check that out, because I think I've had 3 in a row before, but yeah, I'll have to check that, because if that would be good if it did actually take that into account.
I think it does in my case. I have 16 tons of fuel. Yeah,
because the Anaconda's got a smaller tank anyway. Can you get about 4 jumps per tank, can't it? I think.
I switched mine from 32 to 16 to get the route for longer jumps. So if you have the default fuel tank size for the Explorer, that would explain you getting 3 and me getting 2 jumps, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
But I really like the neutron jumps. The trip goes much faster if you have to go somewhere in a hurry. I really like the neutron stars.
Yeah, except I can't resist stopping to scan them every time. That slows me down.
I do that too. I scan every star along the way.
I have been founding recently Aletnil tags again after a long break. I haven't seen Aletnil for a long time, but now I have been seeing those a lot.
Really?
I'm currently crossing the arms. I'm 3,000 light years from waypoint 18. So
okay.
The star density is really low there, and well, Aletnil, he tags everything. So
yeah, when I crossed the Mare Esperaciones, which is the region that separates the outer arm from the Centaurus arm, I saw Stuli and all ITNL all along the way. And I could tell that Stuli got there first, because when I hit systems with only 1 star, it had the Stuli tag on it. And
we have a late arrival.
Yeah, we did. And do you remember, Henke, that we also saw a commander called Hamstelbaster?
Yes.
That's Stuli too. That's his second account. I just realized that yesterday.
Yeah, I saw your post at the forums today.
Yeah, that is really awesome, taking 2 commanders all this way out to the very rich.
Yes.
Julie and Hamstelbaster. It's a funny name. Hamstelbaster. I want to say Hamstelblaster all the time, but it is. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means, Rojo? Hamstelbaster? Or is it just a name?
No idea, but now I'm thinking hamster baster.
I'm saying Hamster Bastard because he keeps tagging all those ELVs.
I've seen his name all over the place as well.
Yeah, he idea, really. So,
If Commodore Hamster Bastard listening, I'm sorry about that, but you're really tagging all the photo worlds in front of me. So you're Hamster Bastard to me. Sorry about that.
well, shame we can't all tag actually, but there is, unless we group tag it. And do we have any stats on our group tag system? Okay.
I think it's around 26 tags. Something like that. I haven't checked that for a long time.
Well, I will get there eventually, so that'll be 27.
That'll be 27. Oh,
It's
Roger.
under 30, anyways, I think. So we can.
So your guess is
tag
under
the
30?
Yeah, we can tag the same system when DECE starts.
Roger, did you do any further shopping at Colonia? Did you buy any ships by any chance?
Yeah, I did actually. I bought a Python, but there's very little in the way of outfitting at Jacques, so it was a bit of a tank, and I've left it there just in case it comes in useful next time I'm out that way. But yeah, no, I thought, because I cashed in what data I had so far, and it was just so that everyone can gauge, around about quarter of the way round we were at that point, and I got over 300 million. And I haven't been scanning everything I come across, so I thought, well, okay, yeah, I'll get a little run around just for the time I'm here. Yeah, I bought a Python. It's not particularly well spec because I only use what outfitting Jack's had to offer, but it's there.
So it's not possible to A-rate anything at Jack's?
Not at Jack's itself. I don't know if there's any other stations nearby that are. You need high tech for that, don't you?
I think
and Colonia is still quite new.
Best A-rated module is Class 3, I think.
Oh dear.
Yes.
But it's there. It's good enough for running around, and it's actually quite a tank, so it can take quite a lot of punishment if you decide to do any combat zones or stuff like that.
One thing I always missed on the Python is more utility slots. I cannot fathom why it's only have 4 utility slots. Because whenever I took a Python into a combat zone, for instance, the shields would go down really, really quick, even if they were A-spec'd and engineered, and I had boosters on, the shields would just vanish like wet tissue.
I must admit, I just use chaff and point defense mostly, so 2 of each.
Yeah, then you have even lower shields.
Oh, absolutely. Then you have to learn to fight or run or both.
Yeah, absolutely. So I never liked taking my Python into a combat zone. I always took the Anaconda.
But it does have military slots now, doesn't it? I think. So you can put whole. Yeah, or does it not?
Can't remember.
No, I can't. But I put a couple of hull enhancements and things in it anyway, just to just to beef it up a little bit. But it was really just a fun run around for the 2 weeks that I was going to be there. So I didn't really put a lot of science into it. I just chucked things at it, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think it has military slots. I'm looking in Coriolis right now, and it doesn't look like it. It looks like the Anaconda or the Federal Corps. It doesn't. Fairly normal ship, even if I think the description says something along the lines that the Python is a military ship, doesn't it? Remember. Cannot.
Always used to be in the early iterations of the game, didn't it? Because that was the big ship that the police would come at you with if you were really bad.
Yeah, I joined Elite Dangerous after the Python had been nerfed. I read somewhere that the pitch of the Python was really excellent and it was a killer ship. And then Frontier went ahead and nerfed the pitch.
Back then, I think the best I could afford was a Cobra, so I really didn't get in on all that side of it. I just sort of read it on the forums that people were upset about it, but I didn't really know because I'd never flown one.
So you never missed it.
That's right.
Oh, I have a few questions left for you, Roger. Time flies.
Mhm.
You in the collective logs that you have been a.
Oh, you read that?
I read them. I read all your posts on the collective logs of the Dead End expedition. Just for this interview, I came prepared, Roger. You mentioned
Oh,
birds
dear.
and feathers a lot.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I don't know why.
Why was that?
That was my space madness episode. That was to explain why I had suddenly gone so far ahead of the fleet. I think because I think I was just going, and I don't know. Some reason I was just typing away, and then the incident with the pigeon came into my head. So I thought, okay, what happens if Commander Rojo suddenly thinks he's a pigeon being chased by peregrines and taking flight? And that was I don't know. It just and yes, I was sober when I wrote it, but yeah, no, it was just it all just sort of came into my head at the time, and that was space madness hitting me at a particular point, and explained why I was 20,000 light years ahead of everybody else in a very short time. So yeah, that was that.
Okay. No, I was thinking, he's a bird keeper, or he has pigeons, he's farming pigeons, and that is his hobby.
No, usually it's just a word somewhere will trigger something in my memory of something somewhere that will morph into something else. It's just, and I don't know, it all just suddenly came out. I didn't even know what I was writing until I finished it, to be honest. And I thought that's weird. I'll leave that.
Oh, good. So my last question for you, Rojo, is there any last words you want to convey to us?
Last words? That sounds a bit ominous.
For this
no, not really. It's just thank you very much for inviting me to be on this show, because it's an absolute honour. I feel like I'm actually landed at last, if you see what I mean. But yeah, no, thanks very much for having me, and I hope it hasn't been too much of a trauma to listen to for everybody. So thank you very much.
Oh, your name will be written in the cupboard of the chosen ones.
That's what I'm worried about.
Mm-hmm.
No, we were very pleased to have you, Rojo. It has been an honor for us, for me and Henka.
Yes. Very good that you could join.
Yeah, we much appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's 1 minute to mass jump, so prepare your FSDs and friendship drives.
Friendship drive charging.
And here we go. Green, blue. Why didn't you wait, Macros?
Oh, should I? I forgot, Henka. I thought you were with us, but you're not, right?
I'm in the multi-crew.
Sorry.
But we got the start of the mass jump, so
yeah, we did.
I think that looked good.
Yeah, it looked really good. I should have waited, of course. I am so sorry. I will. I promise to do better next time, Henka. For Base Camp 10. And thank you very
Yeah,
much
that
for joining us,
was
Rojo.
Basecamp 9 Mass Jump and talk show with our guest, Commander Rojo Habib. Good thing that you joined us. And this month I have to say that the Basecamp 10 live stream and Mass Jump will be done by Macros because I have some family relations to do and I will be not joining Mass Basecamp 10. Sadly, I know you are all devastated about this information, but
We are all devastated by this information, Henka, and we wish
yes,
so much you could be with us at Base Camp 10. But I promise to do the best I can, although I will
yeah,
never live up to your excellence in doing this.
yeah, especially when I can't even get the sounds to work.
Oh, no
It's
worries.
like
You fixed it,
you would be
so
doing it the third time.
that is all water under the bridge.
But yeah, next base camp will be by Macros and with a guest, which we'll know, I think, next week, maybe. But we will inform you when the live stream comes. Or Macros will, I don't.
Yep. Yes, I will.
I will be back at Basecamp 11 if everything goes right. So I think we're good to end this here. So thank you, our guest Rojo Happy,
Thank you,
joining.
Roger.
Yep, thanks again for having me.
And thank you, Macros, once again, being a great co-host.
Thank you too. Well, yeah.
And to the rest of the fleet, fly safe, and we will see you next time. Fly safe, commanders. Bye.
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 And we're offline. I think that went well.
Yeah, it did. It's amazing how fast 45 minutes flies by.
Yes, and I think that we really have to have some kind of longer stream at Beagle Point because it marks our halfway
Yeah, it
of
does.
DECE, so we could make an 1 hour stream.
Yeah, I right now I'm thinking we could do multiple streams, really.
Yeah,
So
and
I'm not sure now
multiple
how
guests.
long we will be at Beagle Point, but I think we'll be there for a week's time.
Yeah, because our timetable it's not that handy regarding BPE because we arrive a week earlier before BPE.
Hmm.
That's the problem. Or at least our base camp time schedule goes like that. So if
Yeah.
you look at our bi-weekly base camps, our last base camp before Beagle Point will be 1 week before May.
Hmm.
Was it 5th?
Yeah. I think we should try to match it so we arrived at Beagle Point with Beagle Point expedition, so we don't have to wait a week for them because I guess that will
Yeah,
be
that's
boring,
too much.
right?
Yes, that's too much.
So
But we can figure out something out when
yeah.
we get closer.
Yeah, and also
Still time.
the Beagle Point is not at a bi-weekly, so it's kind of breaks the bi-weekly thing, but
Yeah. But we
doesn't
can
really matter.
get back to we can get back to normal schedule at the Beagle Point. So. I accept my multi-crew rewards of 0 credits. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Inga. I'm so sorry.
You don't pay very
Yeah,
well.
I'm sorry. I'm not
Well,
more profitable.
why do I do this?
Here.
Why do I do this?
So, Rojo, are you still with us?
Yeah, just about.
Ah, good. I just wanted to ask you if it was as bad as you had feared.
I'll think I'll let you be the judge of that because I just basically talked and hoped that I was saying things that.
Oh, you did fine.
I think you did splendidly.
Okay, thank
There
you.
was absolutely
Also,
nothing to worry about.
considering also that me and Marcus are also far from being professionals, so
Yeah, we are happy amateurs.
yes.
No, I
very
enjoyed
happy.
it. Thanks. No, like I say, thanks for having me on because it was just pure chance. I happened to be on Discord when Macros asked me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it
I
was our
think
pleasure, Roger.
I think
Really.
it's good that we have people on board who are willing to join
Yeah.
as a guest because not everyone wants or can. And the fact is that we are running out of guests at some point. That's sadly the fact.
Well,
But we can figure something out by then.
yeah, we will. Perhaps we will just restart the list.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking that like reruns.
Yeah, we'll do a Rojo Classic. How about that?
Yes, Rojo Part 2.
Rojo 2.
Yes. I was thinking also like I message you, Macros, about those who has dropped DC like Menji and
Yeah,
Voorhees.
yeah, I
That
think that's
they
a good idea.
they
I
would like to
will
come and
absolutely
join.
consider Menji to be on
Yes.
the show. So I think that will be great fun.
Oh, I think we will have a lot of guest opportunities outside DC, considering that exploration community is quite big. So I think we will get guests. As we still have like this was Basecamp 9 and we have about 26 Basecamp live streams. So all in all, we still have some few Basecamp streams to go.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Absolutely. This is Base Camp 9, and we are going on Base Camp 10. Don't we have Base 24 base?
Or
Or do we
26
have
if they are
26?
bi-weekly.
Actually, the last one doesn't really count because that's the end base camp of
Yeah,
Final
yeah.
Destination. So
Oh shoot!
really
I forgot to mention in the stream that we have Basecamp 10 in Jack Timot now, so you can ask Basecamp 10 from Jack at Discord.
cool. Ah, nice.
You
So I
don't,
can grab it from
I
Jack.
didn't.
But
I didn't remember to tell you either, Macros, that we have Basecamp 10 now.
no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You conveniently forgot, which you have done well
Yes.
pretty much at all base camps.
It's my goldfish memory. I can't help it.
No worries. Just as long as we
I did
get the
mention it
base camp.
back in the
26 base
day.
camp.
I did mention the Basecamp 10 at, earlier today. So
Yeah, I
there
was
now
busy making pancakes for my phone.
beer pancakes.
Beer pancakes.
Yes. But it was found by
You see, we have
Cornet
26
Omicron.
base caps, and the last one doesn't count because that's the final destination at Inde.
Aachener 3.
Yeah. So we have the last base camp is on the 29th of September, and that is base camp 25.
Yeah.
Place somewhere. 13,000 or 14,000 light years from Rinde.
I think that will be our last base camp. Yes.
Yes, it will. I'm not sure yet what if we should plan anything for the very last base camp at the final destination. I'm not sure,
We
but
have time.
it would be great if
Yeah.
we could jump into Rinde in one great mass jump. That would.
Yeah. We have time to plan.
Yes, we do.
Figure it out.
Okay, guys, I will leave you now. It has been a pleasure talking to
Yes,
you guys.
too.
See
I
you
think
later.
I have to go to sleep soon also. It's getting late in Finland. It's 12 p.m.
Yeah. Getting late hit.
And I am guessing that our kids are waking at 6 a.m.
Telepresence
So,
crew member disconnected. Telepresence crew member disconnected.
but yeah, it's been a pleasure, gentlemen.
Yeah.
It was nice having you, Virgil.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, I will get back to
And
you later.
you, Henk, have a nice time with your brother and your family.
Yeah, thanks. I will.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.